just of our team and what we wanted to do and who we wanted to play, and a lot of it got scrapped a couple days out just with the limited bodies. And so we had to make some adjustments. Honestly, Lindenwood's going through the same thing. They've got some significant guys that aren't playing. It's just unfortunate, honestly, of the timing of it for both teams, because we felt like we would have a majority of the guys back. We still feel like we're really close to getting a lot of these guys back. But we went into this game just with a scrap mentality that we'd have to be great defensively and rebounding. Honestly, just the mentality of being like, how physical can we be without fouling? Because we did have a size disadvantage. And with Mariel really being our only true forward that was playing in the game, just felt like we needed to have some physicality. I thought Nolan Groves was awesome. I mean, I thought he just, Tyree Bryan, and then the limited minutes that we got with Leon Horner. I mean, those guys really gave us some tough play, and then to out-rebound them like we did and to come up with 23 offensive rebounds. I just thought our competitiveness in that area was what it needed to be. We still got a long way to go. We didn't play great offensively the second half, but I liked the way we shared the ball. And, man, we've got a great team, and we've got some great players that aren't even playing. So really, looking forward to us continue to improve as a group. And what an awesome night to be in the USA, too. It's cool to be back. You just forget the energy that was in the building, man. There's so many people's hard work that goes into making this season happen. And, I mean, I'm talking from the intro video to the student section to what happens before. I mean, we've really got great people at Texas Tech that are working hard to make this great. And I thought tonight's atmosphere was exceptional.
There's been a ton of hype with Christian throughout the offseason, whether that's national media or just here in Lubbock. But seeing him actually produce like that on the court to start off the season, what did you see from him tonight?
Well, I thought his composure was right. I mean, if you watch him, he's a shot maker, and I'd like for him to even be more aggressive, honestly, just from the jump. Just how do you put guys on their heels? And I think he's doing that. Everybody saw his athleticism. I mean, he's improved. I'll tell you where I was most impressed. I mean, he's 11 assists, 1 turnover. That's obviously great, but he got fouled 10 times and he only fouled once. I mean, just the way he's using his body and how physical he is defensively without fouling. I thought he had a few possessions and rebounds where he came up with some really big plays. I mean, it was 7 rebounds. He's composed, and he spent a lot of time doing it, though. This is not because he's talented. He is talented, but it's because he works. I mean, this is a byproduct of his work, and, man, it was great to see him just get in a rhythm, and, man, he's a great teammate, and I thought he really did lead our guys today well.
Obviously, Christian and Donovan are the guys that kind of stand out in the scoring department on the stat sheet. But when you have guys like Nolan Groves getting 16 rebounds and Leon Horner scoring 10 in 12 minutes, what can you say about the rest of the guys on the team that were able to contribute?
Yeah, well, I think what this stat sheet really does show is the 2 guys that have played in every practice basically almost since we've been going is Christian and Donovan. I mean, like, through the stretch. I mean, everybody else on this, Mariel didn't play in the first scrimmage, Tyree didn't play in the second scrimmage, Nolan didn't play in the first scrimmage, Jalen didn't play in the second. I mean, it's just we're all over the board. JT played in both. I mean, it's pretty wild, and, I honestly anticipated JT playing as of yesterday, so we're just being cautious with him, honestly, and we want to make sure he's 100%, and we don't want to put him in a position where he doesn't get better when we got a pretty tough stretch coming up. So I'll tell you what it says about both Donovan and Christian is just like their work over these last 2 months has been consistent. So you know who plays the best? It's the 2 guys that have been practicing. And you just saw there's a lot of rough spots with the other guys, but, man, I think our competitiveness is where it needs to be, and everybody can see, like, this team's got a real chance if we can keep getting better defensively.
You talked about the competitiveness. How do you see the scrappiness of this team going after rebounds and doing what they need to do on the defensive end?
Well, fatigue got us a few times where you could tell we lost a little bit of our fight, and that's a little bit normal for the beginning of the year, but it's not acceptable. And I just don't want our guys to get down out of ways that, like, when you don't make shots. That's the stuff that bothers me, honestly. It's just when I look at scrappiness, it's like, okay, you shoot an air ball, so what? Sprint back and go guard somebody and let's get it back. I mean, they don't figure out how to make it worse. And that's the stuff that I think we'll just keep growing through. And they haven't heard my voice enough, some of them, because we haven't got enough consistent practices and games together. But we leaned into it and got better. I mean, even when they started to cut it at the beginning of the second half, we didn't shoot it good. You saw it kind of take the air out of the building. But then we started getting rebounds and scrapping, and then we get led to offense, and I thought rebounding was the key to the game.
What do you see from the potential for this team after this first game?
Oh, I don't even try to figure that out. I do love them, and I love being around them every day. That's what I'll tell everybody. You talk to anybody that I talk to about our team, I tell them, I don't know how good this team's going to be, but, man, I love being around every one of them every day. They look at me with, real love and passion for this. One guy I love looking at in the huddle is Jalen Petty. He did not play great from an offensive standpoint, but, man, does he have a lot of fight. He's my kind of guy, man. I love being around that dude. He looks at me in the huddle like, yeah, coach, I'm with you. And I'm like, I'm with you too. That's how I feel about this whole team. Him specifically, though, I get a lot of excitement coming to be a part of a team with a guy like that. I mean, he's a freshman. He had 9 points, 5 assists, 1 turnover, and 8 rebounds, and he's 5 foot, let's call him 6'5". I don't know, but he just got a big heart, and he's super competitive. I love him.
Obviously not the ideal lineups you want to throw out there, but do you think that kind of helps build some of that guard depth for later with guys like Nolan playing 27 minutes, guys getting more minutes than if you were all healthy right now?
I honestly, on the back end of this, yes, it helps us. But, JT's been practicing and played every day. He's not missed a day. So, he just missed starting after the Iowa scrimmage is when we kind of let's give him a couple days because he's been on such a good run. He played so good in our 2 scrimmages, and he was dominant in those scrimmages. And then we get him past this, and we tried to rest him a little bit just to see if we could get him some time going into the season, and just going to take a little more time. So we haven't played without him. This team hasn't, honestly. So what makes this difficult is that lineup with Tyree out there. When Mariel was off the floor, we've had him for a couple weeks. But when he was off the floor, we have not played those lineups, even in practice very much. Probably a couple times. So that's where I've got to do a better job as a coach, just because we've tried to ramp this up, and we've played Latrell in these practices and scrimmages because he can, but we don't want to use a year of eligibility because we got so many guys that can play. So we're going to redshirt him. That's the intent. That's why he didn't play tonight. But, I was anxious to see is a good word for it, how we would respond and play with those smaller lineups, because we have not done it in practice very much. But, man, did Nolan do a great job, I thought, and Leon when he was out there also.
Then what did you see from Mariel if he's only had a couple weeks fully healthy in this stretch, and then being the one big you had out there tonight?
For a freshman, I just love his willingness, and this is what I'll say about it, to get better. Literally, he's like, yes, coach. And I haven't even said anything yet. I'm like, why don't you wait and let me tell you what I want you to hear? He's like, yes, coach. I'm like, he's just so well. He wants to be great. What he's doing off the floor, he's cooking his own meals at night. He's just dedicated himself. His body is in such good shape right now, which is allowing him to put more practices together, because we got him because he was dealing with some things, and he came at semester because he wasn't going to be able to finish the season with his high school team. So that's how we got him. And then he's just built up to this point where he's really – I talked to Coach Wright, our strength coach, and he's like, man, I'm so impressed with Mariel because of his character and how he's handling all this stuff off the court to give him a chance to play. That's the stuff, honestly, that I'm telling you, he's only scratching the surface. He can block shots, and the more he gets where he's mobile, he's got great timing, he's got good, he high points the ball when he rebounds it, and he's physical, and he really knows how to play. He's got an opportunity to be special.
And then you mentioned something in a podcast a little while ago, and I think it's kind of more relevant when you have just such smaller lineups. The getting rid of the charge call, how does that change how you coach defense? How does that change who you put out, and how does it change who you recruit to play defense for you with that gone?
Yeah, well, that's a great question. 2 things that I think we improved with this team. One is we have legit size on the back end now. With Mariel, with Luke, with JT, I mean, we've got guys that can move. And one guy that I'm not even talking about, Josiah, just because I think he's the farthest away from being ready to play. I mean, I think he's still got a little more time. He's the one that's got to. And then Lawan's physicality and his size. What we've got, and you watched it with Nolan and Tyree, we've just got bigger, more physical guys. And then those guys up front, I mean, Donovan Atwell shot the mess out of it tonight, but he works unbelievably hard. We watched it on film. He's a really good on-ball defender. Like, he really works at it. And then Jalen Petty's got a chance to be special with his anticipation. He just doesn't understand quite our game yet and what we're doing. But I just think we've upgraded with physicality and length in areas that you got to have if you can't run people into charges. And we didn't even get to put it all out there today, but we've got a chance to put some groups out there that can really get stops when we get them connected.
Coach, going into this offseason, a big thing was you're trying to get more players in the transfer portal with several abilities in their toolkits. When you went out and got a kid later in the cycle from the recruiting ranks, you get Nolan Groves, who gets the most rebounds a freshman's ever had in Texas Tech history. Was that part of the game plan, or?
Well, what Nolan is, and when you watch him play in high school, he's physical, like naturally physical. He doesn't mind being physical, and that's always, he's a little nervous out there offensively, you could tell. I mean, the dude scored 40 a game or whatever, I mean, dude doesn't have a problem scoring. But at this level, you try to figure out where your confidence level is. And so what I'll just say about him specifically in this group is they're just leaning into it's going to be difficult. And that's how you become special. You just go like, it's going to be hard. Yep, it is. So like, I'm cool with it. Let's enjoy how difficult it is so that we can enjoy how much fun it is to win when you have to go through so much. And Nolan's kind of gone through a lot just to transition to this level. And you can just see by the way he plays, this means a lot to him. Probably too much in regards to how much he cares, He's squeezing the mess out of that ball at the free throw line the first time he got to shoot free throws. You just saw it. And he's got great touch and great feel, and he didn't ever have a problem making free throws. So he'll settle in and he'll gain more confidence through this, and it was a great experience for him tonight.
Of the 9 guys that saw the court tonight, only 3 of them were with the program last year. What does that say about the new members and how they have gelled with this team?
Yeah, I'll tell you what it says about this new group that we have. They came here because they want to win. That's why they're here. So they're not out there. I mean, sometimes you go out there and you try to play for yourself and it never works out. I honestly don't think it does. Not one time. I don't care. Like, the more you lean into the team and how you help the team win, the better you play. And that's what this group is. That's why they're special, and that's why they can come in the first college game, all these guys have a lot of success. I mean, it may have not been like statistically successful, but as a unit, it was successful.
Yeah, Coach, it looked like you switched very, very little on defense tonight. Is that reflective of a change in defensive philosophy, or is that just kind of a one-off deal?
No, that was a personnel decision on Lindenwood. I mean, we would have switched more in regards to the personnel if we felt like they practice against a hard hedge. It's what they did most of the time. Now, they dropped against us today, but if you watched them on film, they don't even try to set it, and they jump up, and I thought our size at the guard spot and our size at the rim would have opened up the short roll, and they practice it. And if you would have watched the film we watched, which was Ball State and Southern Illinois, they hit the short roll, and those big guys played at the basket the whole time. So we thought by not switching and being underneath it, we could stay with the guards on the guards and make them make all these contested twos with their guards. And we looked at the percentages and felt like that was the best opportunity for us to play defense. And I do think we will switch some depending on how teams utilize it. But they set guard-to-guard ball screen and then big ball screen almost every possession back to back to back. They do it over and over again. So the guard-to-guard we look to switch, but on film they never set it. They never set it. So they just slipped it. So we just said stay on the first one and then let's try to keep the matchups because we were so limited in size. I just didn't want Jalen Petty down there guarding because that's the next action. I didn't want Donovan down there guarding. Not that they couldn't, but the way they played, they were more really role defined, and we felt like if we could do that, we could keep matchups and we could rebound better.
And could you just talk a little bit about your spacing and the ball movement tonight?
Yeah. Coach Lender's the best, man. I mean, it's funny. We were junior college coaches together back for a couple years we had played Mark Adams' team and Charlie Burgess. I don't know if anybody remembers Charlie Burgess, but Charlie Burgess was on the other team. He was an unbelievable driver, and their defense was so good. And Coach Linder and I changed what we did going into that game for our personnel, and then we changed at halftime what we did offensively and won the game and ended up beating a team that was really good that Charlie Burgess was on that won a bunch of games, and we ended up taking that team to the national tournament. So it's fun. It's not the way we'd want to do it every game is to be shorthanded like we were without, Player of the Year JT Toppin and all that nonsense. But, man, we've got really good coaches, like really good coaches that we have – and I thought our spacing and our prepared play for everybody, considering we haven't played these lineups, was attributed to our understanding of how we want to do everything. It wasn't like just scheme driven for one guy. Everybody understands, and the simplicity, but also the ability of these guys to share the ball was on display with a team that hadn't actually played much together. And to do it in a short amount of time was really showed a lot of our guys and what they're learning and how committed they are to our team and winning. And I think we got the best coaches, man. And I'm not talking about myself. I honestly do. I think we got the best coaches, and our staff's really prepared and done a phenomenal job. Thank y'all.